normal schedule on the 1s and 2s. I hope everybody had a good 4th. The fireworks was fireworking. I was hearing fireworks for the past 3 days. It was ongoing. I don't know about y'all. It was all night for the past 2 or 3 days. They was making sure they was releasing all the fireworks that they bought. So I'm glad that y'all had a great 4th. I'm glad that y'all back in one piece. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Lots and lots of wrestling to get into.
Man, tell me about it.
They was popping fireworks like crazy. Like, it was all night.
They still going over here. Like, they still going. Like, I'm all right, my nigga. That's enough. Like, chill out.
Just all over the place. Like, it's still been going on. For some reason, the 4th, I don't know, the crime rate be up and the fireworks be up. I don't know. Everybody just, I don't know what it is about the 4th, but people just lose their minds. Crazy.
And then I think they also after the 4th, you know what I'm saying, the fireworks be like, all right, we get rid of these. So, all right, cool. Let me go grab the little, you know what I mean, get the little deal, the 2 for $3, 3 for yada, you know what I'm saying? A little package deal. Pop. Letting them off.
$5 for $1 and stuff like that. It's just crazy. It was all over the place. That's all you saw was smoke on downtown Dallas and all of that stuff, because people just popping like crazy. Just people getting the cops called on them and stuff. They still popping fireworks.
Yeah, it's gonna be for like the rest of the week, at least. You know,
all these fireworks that I'm bought, we using it all up. So, welcome to another episode of All Elite with Keeks. Now, this week it was just not chaotic, but it's not as organized as the originals because Collision had to do their update last minute. So it's still going to be like card and card, but some cards it's not going to be a card and card, but you still can tally up and still determine by it. It's just not going to, be as I have done it the first and the second time because they had to update with Collision. Okay, so y'all bear with me. Yeah. Everything's still going to be the same, but it's just certain things it doesn't line up with which, okay?
Certain things I think we got to kind of look at with a different lens here this week too. Like there's a different focal point with some of the things that were happening with like what they're setting up, and then like some of the storylines, especially with like all the tournaments going on. Like, so we got to kind of like look at some of these things with a different lens.
Very much, because we're in the middle of transition, getting ready for All In, which we'll get into later on in the show. All In, and also Blood and Guts is next week as well. So we're going to get into it. Let me pull out my handy dandy notebook,
I got a song for that.
Shout out to the 90s, 80s babies. We know the handy dandy notebook. If you young, I'm sorry, but y'all know what that is.
Hey, man.
Do they know what Blue's Clues is?
If they listen to Public Enemies on Wednesdays, at least they know the male song.
Yeah.
At least they know that. So
yes. So
turn up.
All right. All right. So we're gonna get started. For both openers for both shows. Dynamite. We started off with the Blind Eliminator Tag Team match. Keith Lee and Swerve. They used to be former tag team champions when they were together. Versus Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, the baby faces of AEW, the favorites. Everybody loved them. So we had these people, this tag match that opened up for Dynamite. And then on Collision, we opened up Collision with CM Punk with a promo begging on his hands and knees, talking about Owen Hart. Played the little small violin. You know what I'm saying? So you had one thing with one thing. Tag Team Eliminator match was very entertaining and very good as well. It was both. Swerve was being a heel and then Keith Lee being a face, and they was kind of mimicking each other and things like that. And then you see on one instance, like this picture right here, Keith Lee was stepping on the steps and crushing Darby Allin. I know that hurt. That was crazy.
Fire.
It was fire. And like we've been saying, we seeing the old Keith Lee back. How you doing, Eddie? We ain't seeing the old Keith Lee back. You know, he dyed his hair black. And then, of course, we see Swerve do his thing, Swerve and Orange and Swerve and Darby. You know, they faced each other before. So great interactions. And then it still had that little tension between Keith Lee and Swerve because, you know, the last time we seen Keith Lee, Swerve had hit him with the bricks, and then he joined with Dusty and things like that. So they've been at odds, still at odds, but they had to pair up today. And then they also did one of their joint moves together. Mm-hmm. But so that was a good little callback for the fans when they were tag team champions. And then also in Collision, like I said, you know, CM Punk is saying how much Owen Hart meant to him and all of this other stuff, and the tournament means a lot to him, and he's going to walk away the winner, and blase plays the violin. So we know how, you know, he was pretty much loved in the city, at that city. You know, it was still a little mixed reaction, but he had more of an ovation there. So the CM Punk hate is in different areas.
Uh-oh.
No, he did not have to carry anybody.
Davis in the chat is hating. He said Keith Lee had to carry this man again like he did when they were a team.
Drip is being biased right now. He's being very biased. But no, nobody carried anybody.
Vince said he dripping now.
He being very biased right now. Nobody carried anybody in this match. It was all equal. Don't do that. But if you in the chat, all you that's in the chat, vote for which segment was better than who. Bram is going to keep up with the tallies, okay?
What did you think of, like, let me ask you this, because you know what we haven't talked about yet, Keeks? Like, what do you think about Collision? This is the 4th episode. Like, how do you feel about the show thus far? Like, the atmosphere, does it feel different from Dynamite? You like the pacing? Like, if the match has been dope? Like, what do you think about Collision so far?
Collision is definitely is different than Dynamite, as you can tell. I would say Collision is more fast-paced, but it's more on the end that caters to the people that are into more of entertainment, as far as like more promos and more a little bit of the gimmicks and things like that. And then you still get the wrestling. So it's like equal of both. Mm. I feel like it's something, it's in the direction that Impact think that they are.
No.
It's no, and that's no shade. It's no shade to Impact, but I feel like it's the energy that Impact think that they are, like what Impact was trying to do.
Yeah. Because Impact kind of does like a lot of like campy, like goofy stuff too. And it kind of like, I think sometimes they teeter the line a little bit too much over the edge. Vin here in the chat, he said Collision feels tighter. It has a big fight feel.
It's gonna, of course it's gonna have that because it's on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. We got to be mindful it's on a Saturday. That's true. That's true. So it does make sense to have that feel. That's what they want you to have. That was the whole reason of them having it on a Saturday, because they want to. Because WCW used to have that feeling when they had the WCW show back in the day. Yeah, Saturday night. So that's what they want. That's what we want, because especially during the summer, because football is not here, basketball ending. I mean, we still do have WNBA and things like that, but that's what it's supposed to feel. They're doing their job. Just like when, and I'm not gonna, you know, this is not the WWE show, but when WWE moved their pay-per-views to Saturday, it had a lot of different feel to it than, you know, the usual Sunday that they was doing when it was drying out. Saturdays supposed to make you feel big field fights. You know, boxings are on Saturday. You know, different things. The national champion sometimes. No, that's not on Saturday. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's supposed to feel on Saturday. Like a good game series can be on a Saturday and still feel like a good feel. So that's what it's supposed to do. That means it's doing its job. Thank you. On that. Thank you for that question, though.
I had to ask you because I saw you tweet the other day that you might be starting to be a little bit of a collider. So I was like, I hope she know I seen that, you know, because I got to bring it up.
I said that because FCR lost. That's why I said that. But I do enjoy Collider. You know, I'm seemingly all the way, and I don't really like Phil, but I do like Collider for what it gives. I know it's going to be a difference between. I'm not looking for a Collider in Dynamite, and I'm not looking for Dynamite in Collider. So that's how you can enjoy it. Don't expect one another from one another because it's different. Just like don't expect SmackDown on Raw, don't expect Raw on SmackDown. So.
Drip says Punk is boring as a promo when he talks to the crowd as a baby face. So he's going to go with the tag match that opened Dynamite to get the point. I kind of agree with that. Like the promo kind of felt like a nothing burger. Like he didn't like, he was just like, yeah, like, you know, like, I mean, they kind of had to do
something. Was your man.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's what it was. I mean, they kind of sent him out there to do like a paint by numbers promo to kind of get over the tournament from here, because it kind of feels like, okay, is it a foregone conclusion that CM Punk is going to win? And he's like, nah, you feel me? I can't look past Powerhouse Hobbs. I can't look past Ricky Starks. You feel me? I might not even be Samoa Joe. You know what I mean? So like they played back into that, and man, the way that we'll get into it. But yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So I said petty. I wasn't trying to be petty when I made that, but it's accurate if you think about it. Like that's what Impact is trying to do, but haven't successfully done. But shout out to Trinity though. Shout out to Feel the Glow. After that, because I want to make sure I don't skip nothing, y'all. Okay, so this is going to be mostly I'm sorry.
Next was
that
was the second match. Second tag, they went back to. And then
that's right. That's right. I'm tripping. Yeah,
I got you. I got you, man.
I had it, Daddy. I know. Your claim.
I mean, you know, because for sure.
The Acclaim and Daddy Ass versus the Blade and the Bollywood Boys versus, and then of course on the Collision end it was the Owen Hart quarterfinals cup. It was Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. They used to be former, they was part of Team Taz, and then Hobbs turned on Ricky, and they had this feud, and they haven't had a feud since last year. So they went head to head. So I could go to the Dynamite one because it's a breeze. Again, in the Acclaim and Daddy Ass, you can't go wrong with them. They're so over. They're probably the most over triple, the triple men that don't need any belts to be over. They're going to still always be over. So they're one of those that they are always demanded on TV now because they bring in the numbers, they bring in the merch. They are probably the longest top merch sellers in AEW. Likely. 2 black men and 1's gay. That's history. That's like I said, we haven't seen a major gay wrestler that's over in a while. So shout out to Anthony Bowens, and he's part of Fenty as well. He work out the Fenty draws for the men, Rihanna's brand. So yeah, their merch sell every week. They've been making money from their merch. So shout out to them. I can't hate on them on that.
No, they be going crazy.
Yeah, they going crazy. And shout out to the Blade. Like I said, when Blade and Butcher, they are great workhorses. They do their job to, because they're vets in the indie wrestling. They're veterans, as you could tell. No shade to them, but y'all can tell that they're veterans in the game. But really great workers. They'll put you over. They work with you. But shout out to the Blade and shout out to the Bollywood Boys. They had a fan base on Twitter. I saw it on the timeline.
Those are my guys, man.
Yeah, everybody like the Bollywood Boys. Sign them boys if you can.
Those are my guys.
Add on to. But yeah, so shout out to them. And then also on Collision, we saw the Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Great match between the two. Of course, they have great chemistry. Hobbs was tearing him up. Majority of that match, he was
ragdolling.
He was ragdolling this man. Like
he was letting you know, like I could really do this to you. Like I just want you to know, like if this wasn't like play, like if I ain't know you for real, like this how I be doing you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was just getting slain every kind of way. But overall, like I was saying, like I've been predicting, Ricky Starks is going to go to the finals. I'm hoping if this is what it's going to be, them trying to bring him over as a talent, Ricky Starks having him win it all, or CM Punk gonna end up winning it. Either or. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I hope they just kind of make the right call on this, and hopefully CM Punk does the right thing as the OG. Mm-hmm. You don't. We ain't never heard you talk about no Owen Hart. You always talk about Bret Hart, but that's just my saying. So if you in the chat, make sure you pick which segment was better than which.
Andy said,
what did Emmanuel
Starks
say?
Under-delivered. Emmanuel says, Hobbs and Starks takes the W. The trios match was to get the Acclaimed on TV, which I don't mind.
Yes. Well, see, the Acclaim is going to always be on TV, like I was saying, because they draw in numbers and they have a major fan base and their merch is selling. So you always have to have your money makers on TV.
And also, Tony has made it clear that they do numbers, and also, nigga, I put them together. I'm proud of this. Mm-hmm. This is working. So I'm gonna put this in y'all face.
This is my idea,
right?
Which it was. Like, this is my idea.
TK was like, what's bruh from Snowfall? I built this shit.
Let's go. When he got over, like, let's go. I did this. Finally, me. This is me.
Right.
I finally did. My idea worked.
Look, it's making money, like you said. They always like the longest running, you know what I'm saying, top merch sellers. They've been going crazy. They always on TV. They always do numbers. They always get over. So why shouldn't they be on TV?
And when you see the scissor signs everywhere.
Boom. Sean, right on time with it.
Scissors peach. Okay, so we're gonna move on. So make sure y'all pick which is which. So we're gonna move on. We're going to get on to Dynamite. Dynamite had a segment with Adam Cole and MJF working out. Mm-hmm. They was on a bromance. Now, I cannot stand Maxwell, but I did enjoy this. I'm enjoying this a lot, actually. They had one thing in common, was making fun of Tony Schiavone. And Adam Cole Sleep wanted to laugh at that, but he just didn't. But this is great. I like this. This works for MJF. This is a whole new rebrand for him. And maybe he opening his eyes that you don't have to be a fucking jerk to be over, especially if you want to be a good heel. You don't have to do all of that. Adam Cole, yeah. OG.
Maybe this gets him to tap into like some different, you know, like I don't know, like facets of his heel personality. You know?
Like you don't have to be like these 80s heels. Like it worked in the 80s. It's not gonna work right now. Like you don't have to do that. You can be if you want to be an asshole like you really are, there's several ways you could be an asshole, just like you're doing right now. You can easily do that. Like it's harmful, but it's also funny, like a heelish way.
Piper.
Like the Miz.
Mm-hmm.
No shade.
Yo.
No shade. But yes, rated R Miz. There you go.
There you go. I mean,
rated R Miz. That's what it is. Yes.
That's what they calling him anyway.
Yeah, you might as well do rated R Miz. That's right. So this was a good fun segment. Also let me move on. So make sure y'all remember that. And also behind that, it was a promo with Chris Jericho. And like I said again, if you're new to the chat, you just got here. I'm doing it a little different because they had to adjust to Collision, so it wasn't mapping up. Okay, so bear with me. We're gonna get there. Okay, but still keep your tallies. Also in Dynamite, you had the Chris Jericho promo. You know, Jericho was letting you know where it all began in Canada, right in the city. And, you know, he was getting cheers as Jericho. You can't go wrong. He'll say one thing that have you cheering him, and he'll say another thing and have you booing him the next second. That's just how Jericho is. He works great with the crowd. Nice shoes, by the way. I want the glitter boots. I want the shiny boots. Y'all know I'm a Texas girl, and I love boots. So, shiny boots. Also, during that promo, you had Don Callis come out, and Don Callis got booed per usual. Like, we not over it. We don't like him. And, Don Callis and Chris Jericho has history. Okay? So, Don Callis come out there and he let him know, like, hey, join me. Join me. You joined me before and stuff like that. And Chris Jericho, you know what? Maybe. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no, but he said maybe. And I think he might. I don't know. Something in my gut is telling me he will. So, but that's interesting. He said maybe.
What do you like? Because this would be like his Don Callis family, right? Because he goes, Chris Jericho doesn't join factions. He starts factions, which is true. Like, Jericho hadn't really been in too many factions in his career, and for him to join up with Don Callis. Like where would he be in that chain of command? Is he like
maybe he's gonna challenge himself and try a character that he's never done before? That's what he does.
Yeah, maybe.
And like you said, he never joined a faction before.
You're right.
So maybe we'll see how he will reinvent himself with this. So he's the master of reinvention. So we'll see how he does this.
I mean, yeah, because essentially, like, I mean, as we don't really have it like on the list here, but essentially, like later on, it seemed like he kind of like folded the Jericho Appreciation Society. So like I don't know if he's moving on to something else, if he's gonna bring parts of that along with this new thing that he's doing, but I don't know. I'm excited.
Well, I mean, Jericho's a smart guy, and he knows when stuff is ran its course. And I think he read the room when it came to Ricky, when it came to the different different segments that he was in, that it was just like, okay, maybe it's time to hang the Jazz up and start something else. He knows, his limit. Like, he can read the room. He's good at doing that. Like, okay, the fans ain't feeling this not too much. I mean, they still sing my song, but that's the only thing that's giving us traction.
Right.
Like,
that's a song, like,
yeah. So he's just like, Daniel Garcia, you good. I did all I could do. Bryanson did all he could do. Sammy, now you're kind of looked at as a face now. You're not looked at as a heel so much. And the other two, y'all can do y'all thing. The tag division needs y'all. So
yeah, he ain't worried about that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm done babysitting. I want to do my own thing because you never know. My girl would call it quits. You never know. So he's just trying to get all his stuff out the way before he call it quits.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just saying, yeah. So make sure y'all add that on with y'all tally when y'all vote at the end of the show, okay? So moving on. Now we finally got a head-to-head. We have on Dynamite. It was Adam Cole and MJF versus Butcher and Daddy Magic from former Jazz, the one with the big head, Daddy Magic. That's how people know him, with the big head. Daddy Magic.
Oh yeah, right.
And then on Collision end, you had FTR versus Juice Robinson versus Jay White. I already know who's gonna win this one. But so the blind eliminator, of course, it was Adam Cole's birthday at that day, by the way, too. So it was Adam Cole and MJF. They have good dynamic with each other as a tag. It was entertaining. It was also some in-ring storytelling with that as well. With MJF and Adam Cole, because I feel like they're still going to have that feud. That's what it's building on. Like, they're going to build like a whole friendship, and then it comes to an end. You know what I'm saying? So it's great little in-ring storytelling on that. And then shout out again to Butcher. Butcher was carrying like he always do a great bit. FTR versus Bang Bang. So shout out to Butcher. Daddy Magic is also a good in-ring too. I can't take that from him. He's really good in-ring. He just distracts me with the voice and the big old head. Y'all know that head that was on Ant-Man 3? The big old head, MODOK.
The thing, it was like
that's what Daddy Magic head looked like to me. Every time I see him, I think of that. I'm like, if he get too close to the screen or something, you know. So shout out to Adam Cole and MJF, and then when they won the match, of course, to move forward in the blind eliminator. There you go. Adam Cole granted him with the birthday cake, and then he tried to smash it on Adam Cole, and Adam Cole ended up smashing it on his face. So that was a good, fun entertainment segment. Oh, okay. And then also on Collision, FTR versus Jay White and Juice Robinson, a.k.a. the Bullet Club Gold. Great tag match. I love that tag match. That was a great tag match. The segment went on long because we had a match they had to cancel on the card, which I'll get into in women's business. But it was a great tag match, and right call was made, and we're gonna have a third match between the two. Please give them the belts. Bullet Club Gold. This match is why I said I'm a collider, because the right people won. Shout out to Jay White. Swing blade. Can't go wrong. Juice Robinson has finally won me over, okay? I am now a Juice Robinson fan. He can't do no wrong now. He won me over.
Yes. Lyric said a MODOK comparison is crazy.
I'm sorry. When his head got on the screen, I'm like, oh my God, he looked like the thing on Ant-Man. He looked like that thing on Ant-Man. So it's all love. It's all love. Daddy Magic. You just got a big head, huge head.
MODOK is crazy.
And a Wayne head. That's what it looked like. Wayne head.
Oh,
got a big old head.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it was a great tag match for each card. So if you in the chat, you pick who's the better card. I'm pretty sure I know who y'all gonna pick. I picked it as well.
Yeah, man.
I mean, anything with Jay White on it's a win for me.
You know, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So, and then also I'm gonna get on Collision, because Collision had another a wrestling match. I didn't want to tie it into the main event, so we saw the in-ring debut of Scorpio Sky with his fine self. Scorpio Sky made his Collision debut. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand the Scorpio Sky hate. Why do y'all hate him? He's a nice looking guy.
It was quiet when he came out there. I don't know.
Yeah, it was quiet, but then he started gaining fans when, you know, his in-ring. Now him and Action Andrade, they did have great chemistry in the ring. And shout out to Action Andrade, because he looked really good against Scorpio Sky. And Scorpio Sky looks like he's back healthy. He's really good. And he, you know, reminded y'all that he's a great in-ring wrestler, which he is. It was just always the promos with him. But he was a great in-ring wrestler. I never doubted his wrestling skills with his fine self. So, so shout out to Scorpio Sky. He picked up his first win in a while, and also on Collision. So, looks like Scorpio is meant to be on the Collision card. So, shout out to him. Okay, so we're going to get on. Make sure y'all add that. Make sure y'all, you know, Scorpio Sky will be a superhero in a Tyler Perry movie.
That's out of pocket.
Ain't nobody but Banks. That ain't nobody but Banks that's everything. Out of line. You out of Banks, don't start. Mm-hmm. Did we ever find out if Action Andrade was black? Cause I had said go Black Kings, and I didn't.
I think so.
He gotta be.
I need to see his daddy.
Yeah, me too.
What your daddy look like?
Yeah, who your daddy, boy?
Who your daddy? Who your pappy?
Who is your daddy? All right, so we're gonna get on to the main event, Dynamite and also Collision. So the main event, we had Kenny Omega versus Wheeler Yuta. And then on Collision, of course, it was another quarterfinal Owen Hart tournaments match. It was CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, great rivals from ROH. So you had both segments now. Kenny Omega and Wheeler Yuta was doing what it needs to do. Shout out to Kenny. He came out to battle cry. I almost cried. It's been a long time since I heard it. Look at Kenny. Oh my God. Like, he was just attached to glue, tape, prayer, all of that. And he's out there as if he wasn't injured, like wrestling with vertigo and stuff like that. Like, he really came back like Goku. Dead ass. And really Goku out here. And then the ending to that match, of course, chaotic shit happened. Then you had Claudio come out. It was just a whole bunch that happened. It left on a cliffhanger too, because Young Bucks came out to help. Adam Page came out. It was just a lot going on. BCC came out, and then Dark Order came out. It was just a lot going on. A lot was happening.
You know what? And every week, I keep seeing more and more evidence to what you said about how they doing Wheeler, bro. Like, even commentary put it over, and it was like, oh, Wheeler Yuta's coming out by himself. I wonder why that is. Like, I mean, like, Kenny came out dolo too, but it's like, if you the heels, like, why are you like letting your partner lose the numbers game?
It's
like,
just
you know
like what Boosie said. I keep trying to tell y'all. It's what Boosie said in that interview. You got to keep them young ones. They take it for you.
Pause. They take the charge.
The legal
charge that they get arrested and go to jail, so you don't have to. You feel me? Don't.
Yeah, take the charge.
It ain't crazy over here like that.
Yeah, take the charge. Nothing against it, but take the charge. That's what we was talking about. Okay, yeah, take the charge. But also moving on Collision, CM Punk and Samoa Joe. Now Samoa Joe was whooping this man's ass. Like, he was beating him like he owed him some money and he didn't pay him. He was beating him like, I don't know. He was beating him like he was a skinhead or something. I don't know. Beating the mess out of CM Punk. I didn't think he was going to get up, but CM Punk kept getting up, and CM Punk kind of hold his own a little bit. It was cute. Okay, I give him that. See, I ain't going to be too biased. I'm going to give him that. He held his own a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that he's trying to make sure he don't hurt himself, but he was still holding his own. So I ain't going to take it from him. He was holding his own out there, but he was getting his ass beat. And by the grace of God, he ended up winning. And then after that match, Samoa Joe reached out to give him a handshake, but then he put him in the chokehold, a sleeper. And I was like, yeah, I was happy. I was over there like, choke him.
Why you fall for that Boosie fake code of honor stuff? You know Samoa Joe ain't never been bout
because he likes the hearts. That's all they did. They fell for Vince twice.
Yo.
2 times. The daddy and him.
Sean said Joe gave CM Punk the original go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was a sign out there talking about Samoa Joe was their tribal chief.
Yeah, I saw that.
Boy, Samoa Joe would have ripped that sign from you. Don't you ever. Well, yeah, but you also got to realize Samoa Joe is hanging by a needle and thread himself, so we don't want Samoa Joe to get back hurt. He did came from a broken neck injury, okay? And them things is not, simple.
For sure.
So you always want to protect those people because any wrong move, he could paralyze himself or things like this. So, he's still tough. You still kind of get those vibes from him, but you also want to be mindful that he doesn't want to re-injure himself, and you don't want them to re-injure himself. Like, y'all waiting on Big E to come back, and he just came from a neck injury. That is scary.
That's a fact.
That's scary. So, be a little bit empathetic with some people. Samoa Joe been killing folks for almost 20 years, okay? He gave y'all 20 years of killing y'all.
For sure.
He can relax a little bit. He can give us you semi-killing. Okay, he gave him y'all.
Look,
You know,
he said, I'm gonna give you like a little bit over here. I'm gonna go half speed because this is Samoa Joe in cruise control now. You feel me? Like he's showing up to work, he's still beating niggas' ass, but then also, you feel me? I still want to be good enough to be able to go shoot Twisted Metal. You know what I'm saying, on my off days. So
right.
By the
So
way,
yeah, take it easy on Samoa Joe. He's getting there. But if you want the old Samoa Joe, you better look at YouTube and all of the other stuff because you ain't getting that big. Okay? He's been there and done that. So, and then after that, FTR came out to help their new buddy. You know, they jump from friends to friends. You know, they was once Cody Rose boys. They was a Rose boy. No, they wasn't. They ain't like each other. My bad. I took that back. Don't let me lie on her. They ain't like each other. My bad. My bad, child. But FTR came out or whatever, and then Ricky Starks came out, and then he did the people's elbow, the eyebrow. And he looked at him, and then he turned around, and in my mind, the theme song came on in my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this because I said something last week, and I kind of got a little heat for it. I ain't gonna say nothing this time, but I can't help it because if he gonna move his eyebrow like that,
yo,
you can't. All I was thinking of The Rock had a fire theme song.
Yeah.
The Rock says, "Know your role." I like the '99 one. That one in the Hollywood Rock. That was my shit.
Yeah, that was fire. Manuel says CM Punk and Joe are gonna run it back at All In or All Out. What about ROH? This whole thing is gonna.
Because Joe gotta get ready for ROH pay-per-view too, because he has a belt. He has the ROH TV championship belt, so he gotta focus on that. So that's why they ended that, which I will get into later on in the subject, but we'll get into that.
I wouldn't be mad if they sent Punk over there to ROH to take a L to Samoa Joe.
I wouldn't mind it. I thought that's what they was gonna do. Honestly, I thought they was gonna just have CM Punk at ROH and be like, "You run this. We're giving this to you." But no, guess not.
Guess not. Oh well.
Yep. Also,
by the way, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. Wheeler, shout out to Wheeler. They said that he might have got hurt at the end of this match with Kenny. Like his knee or something like that or whatever, but they say he'll damn near be good to go. But it was just like a little scare, like a little sprain or something like that. I don't know, but shout out to Wheeler. I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then that's mean I'll probably watch him a little bit more on Blood and Guts, so they probably won't use him as much then. They'll probably use hot tag him to take some pins and take some bumps like they do because it's always Yuta. It has to be Yuta. So I can see that. Also, I wanted to stay on Dynamite also as well because it does add into what we get into what is like the BCC and the Elite. AEW highlighted New Japan Eddie Kingston's win of the New Japan Openweight Championship. And also Moxley cut a promo out there in Japan telling Eddie Kingston to pick up the phone. Like, how you going to be mad at me for doing this and this and this? And you did the same thing. Like, that's not how it works. And he's saying to pick up the phone. So we're going to see something between those two. Maybe it will tie into All In. We never know. Okay, so
maybe
keep that in mind. Okay, so because I heard my daughter, I'm trying to see what she doing.
Look at Mox though. There's blood on his forehead, man. Just wake up and get the bleeding, dog. Like, turn up.
Oh yeah, he basically said that. He said, "Oh, I'm always bleed, so I'm just gonna let y'all know that now."
Yeah, and I felt him too. Like, you got to think about it. Like you said, this is a combat sport. Like, some matches I might bleed a little bit out of my nose or whatever. You might get a little baby nick or a cut. In some matches, I might get a full slice. You never know, cuz.
Right. You just never know. Girls, Girls, eat that on the bar. Okay. Okay, so also, so that was Dynamite and Collision. So make sure y'all know which card was the better card in the chat, because we're gonna keep up. Pick up the phone. They were both in.
Drip is
I
right.
cannot stand him. Like
he's not wrong
though.
Be
correct.
He's not wrong. That's funny.
I cannot stand him. They both was in Japan. That's probably how he said it too.
He said so at the same time.
Yeah, that's probably how he said it too. So then we're gonna so that was Dynamite Collision. So make sure y'all vote who is who, you know, which card was better, which show was better, and Graham will keep up with the tally, so we'll know by the end of the show who was better than who. Okay. Rampage, I'm gonna skip through Rampage like I always do. I don't dissect Rampage. If you want that, make sure you tune in to Public Enemies on Wednesday. That's if they feel like covering it. If they don't cover it, that's fine, because you got Grab Saudi and you got Pierce and you got some more people out there that covers Lyric. You know, she will mention Rampage or she'll mention, you know, it's different people out there, but I'm not gonna give you all the breakdowns and all of that. I'm gonna just tell you who won and go on by my business, okay? So Rampage, the results, you had Dark Order versus the Elite. They was continuing on that what happened at Dynamite, and Dark Order ended up winning. So shout out to Dark Order. They got over. They finally got a big win. You know, y'all been complaining in the IWC that Dark Order is always used as jobbers, and now they finally have a big win. So you cannot be mad at that win. I saw people that were still disappointed. Y'all don't know what y'all want. Y'all want one thing, and then when it happened, y'all don't like it. It's the AEW 2021 fans that's doing it. That's why I want them banned. I don't want them to watch the product anymore. They need y'all at WWE. Go be some Impact fans or something. Y'all annoying. Go watch NWA. They need some people. But we sick of y'all. Also, next up on the who's next up? Let me see. I forgot to tell y'all, it was the 100th episode of Rampage, too. I forgot to add that. It was the 100th episode on Rampage on TNT. Shout out to Rampage. They've been on there for 100 episodes.
That's big.
Mm-hmm. Next up, it was Matt Hardy and... No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Garcia and...
Yeah. It was Matt, because I was looking at them. I was like, wait. And then I was like, oh, yeah, they was in the match. It was Matt Hardy and Jeff Jarrett versus Sammy and Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia and Sammy take their first win as a new pair, so they might be a tag team. There might be a tag team, so they're going to add to the tag team division. Also, I wanted to point out that Jeff Jarrett was moving a little slower than he usually is. I hope he is okay. If he need a little bit of break from wrestling, I'm not mad at that, because he was looking a little slow. Matt Hardy, we've always talked about it. You don't have to do this, bro. You don't have to keep doing this. We want you behind the scenes. But Jeff Jarrett, on the other hand, he moved a little bit slower in this match. I don't know what something was wrong, or he was sore or whatever.
He just ran out of Epsom salt. He'd be all right.
Karen brought your back out or something. I don't know where. My back.
Whoa.
That happens.
Her back hurts.
Yeah, her back hurts. So yeah. Also, the main event on Rampage, you had Big Bill and Brian Cage versus Trent Beretta and Mastodon. These two, they had former relationship with each other in the Indies and stuff like that, so they're real familiar of being paired up with each other. And then I can say I like Big Bill and Brian Cage paired up together. I like it. I like this. Put them in the tag division. Make them something. Get Brian Cage out of Mungo Embassy.
Man, please. He don't fit.
He don't fit in. He do not fit in. So get Brian Cage out of Mongo, or if you want to keep him on there, just have him as part of the faction, but let him do this. Or just get him out of Mongo Embassy. Yeah, just get him out and have them two together. I like this. They shout out to Big Bill. I like him in AEW. It works for him. It really works for him. And them being paired like that, it works. So Yes, add them to the tag division. Get him at a Mongol embassy. He don't fit into.
We need like a big like pause, like a skyscrapers or Twin
Yeah.
Towers type team. You feel me? Like
Because Butcher and Blade, I'm not gonna call them old, but they are vets. They don't, but these two will work.
They old.
They will work.
That's all right.
They will work. So Tony, get him at a Mongol embassy or Swerve, whoever's listening, get him out, add him to the new faction.
Please do.
Yes, so do that. So that was that. So we're gonna get on to women business because I have some things that I need to discuss. So don't add Rampage. We're not judging Rampage, but look, let's get into women business because there's some things we need to discuss.
You know what? You're right. And after you're done, if I could, just say just a little tiny piece of something, I would, because I have an opinion on. Never mind. Let's just go into women business and I'm going to shut the hell up.
This is what you need to do. You need to stay out of women business.
Shout out to Nene Leaks again. Women business, we're going to start with Dynamite. It was the Owen Hart Memorial Women's Tournament, of course, the quarterfinals. It was Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker. The match was not giving what it was supposed to give, and it wasn't Ruby Soho's fault. Let's make that clear. It was not Ruby Soho's fault. Ruby Soho had to do a lot of carrying and a lot of adjusting, and I could tell by her facial expressions on certain hiccups pissed her off. You could see it in her face. It was pissing her off. So I will get more into it later, what I have to say about Miss Face of the AEW Women's Division, okay? So I'm going to move on because I'm going to get back to it. I don't want to take up everybody's time with this one, but I'm going to get right back to her, okay? So that happened, of course. Ruby Soho picked up the dub, and, of course, she moves forward in the semifinals of Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue. So we'll see who wins out of that. Sky Blue confronted her like, I'm ready whenever you are. You got to face me. And Ruby Soho did a good job trying to be like, oh my God. But I could tell she was still irritated by that match. If you look at the AEW reality show, Ruby Soho is very passionate about her mess, like her craft in wrestling, because she didn't play with Tay Conti. When Tay Conti bumped her, she was not playing like, this was an accident, but next time I don't think it's an accident.
She said, I'm on your ass.
Right, like she takes it seriously. She Ruby Soho had a chip on her shoulder since she left WWE. She had to prove herself like, I can really wrestle. They didn't value me, they didn't see it in me, but I can deliver, and that's what she's doing. So it's very irritating when you have somebody in the ring that's not doing what they need to do on their end. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll get into it though. I'm gonna get more to it, okay? Let me move on. And also, now Collision, we were supposed to have the match. This was the match I feel like everybody was looking forward to on Collision. It was the semi-finals. It was between Athena and Willow. Everybody was looking forward to this match. And due to Willow still not being cleared to wrestle because she wrestled in Japan where she lost the New Japan's Women's Championship, she was not cleared. But everybody was looking forward to this match. And we could tell that this was missing from Collision because we wanted this. Everybody wanted this match. Black Women Business, we was ready for it, but we're going to get it on Rampage. They announced it. And, of course, they have to do it on Rampage because they're scheduled for each one to be on that Saturday. So
the finals is Saturday.
Yeah, they have to get ready for it. So, unfortunately, yes, it's on Rampage, but make sure y'all still support them on Rampage because they're still going to deliver. But, yes, most definitely. And they did a promo with each other. Athena said, girl, you just faking that injury. You just scared you don't want to face me. And then Willow making it clear like, okay, if you beat me or whatever, I'm still going to come after that ROH championship. And that's like I've been predicting that they're going to have a few back at ROH. So, because, Athena's done with that rivalry against Kiera Hogan. So I could see them running back the Willow and ROH Women's Championship so Willow could take the win and then Athena could go back to AEW. So I could see her and Chris Statlander have a good rivalry match. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also it's Gilead from Stardom. She's slick. You know, she liked a comment or something that they want to see her versus Athena. So maybe Athena goes to New Japan to do a little run or venture out, or, you know, she'll be, you know, back in the main card at Dynamite. Who knows? We'll see. Because Athena has been running these girls like she's been a beast. She's been top 5 champion of 2023, in my opinion. So don't count out Athena. I do not want to see Athena less than a 5 on these PWI's list of stuff like that. She should not be no lower than 5. She's top 5 champion of 2023. She's been holding and she's been representing the ROH women's division. I don't care how you think of how our ROH is going, but as far as Athena, she has been representing as a champion correctly. So don't count her out. She's doing an amazing job. And Willow, she did an amazing job too as the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Of course, her run was, we knew it was going to be a transitional championship because AEW did their part. Mercedes was originally supposed to win. And, you know, Willow, she did her part. And, you know, you got to keep your partners happy because it'll be selfish if Tony be like, no, let her have it. You know, you want to keep your partners happy so you can maintain the forbidden door, okay? We don't want no bad blood. You don't want to be like CMLL and AAA. We don't want nothing like that, okay? So they did their part. It is what it is. So moving on, also on Rampage. No, not Rampage. I'm sorry, but on Collision, they end up doing Julia Hart versus, her name was Bambi, I believe, Bambi Hall. Yeah, so they end up having Julia Hart versus Bambi Hall at Collision. The crowd wasn't feeling it at first, but the more of the match started going, people was rooting for Julia Hart. And Julia Hart also, you know, she gained her confidence within the match because I could tell that if the crowd is not feeling it, she was kind of like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? In her head, you could tell that she was kind of in her head a little bit, but it started to pick up momentum later on in the match. And she's showing that she could be a great dominant heel in the women's division. So shout out to Julia Hart. You know, she answered the call when they needed her. And shout out to the local talent, Bambi Hall out there. Did a great job. You did your part. You did your job. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the women business on Collision. Also on Rampage, let me go back. Also on Rampage, you had Sheeta, the ace, AEW ace of the women's division. Sheeta versus Marina Shafir. You know what? I'm not going to be too hard on Marina because she is trying. In this match, I could tell that she was trying. It's still not there, though. I don't know, but I give her credit for trying. She has heart because she still wants to try. And I don't knock nobody that still wants to try. It's just, I just don't know. It's not registering. I don't know. I don't want to tell you to give up. I don't want to tell you, like, go away or nothing like that because women business, we ball. But I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe take some training with your girl, WWE. What's my girl name? That beat
You said from WWE to train with?
Yeah.
As far as like MMA training, like Shayna or somebody, or
she just beat Ronda Rousey. What's her name?
Shayna.
Yeah, train with Shayna. Y'all train with Shayna. Shayna, train with her. That's your girl. Y'all work together. They was
all the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah.
So they was all supposed to be training together. I don't know what happened with all that.
Never said Natalia. Hell no. No. Natalia gonna get irritated. Shayna. Natalia gonna get irritated. Like, no, I can't do this. But yeah, work with Shayna. That's your girl. Call her up. Like, y'all go to the gym or something. Because I can see it being there, but she just losing it. She just, it's not there. It's not registering. I don't know. But call Shayna. Call Shayna. and take another 6 months off. Take another one. Because it's not. I'm gonna give you a golden star for trying, because you're still trying. So I'm gonna give you that, because you still try. You want to learn. Like, I can tell she wants to. She wants to get better. Call your girl Shayna up. That's I ain't gonna stand there. Now, let me get to what I need to get to. Now let's talk about the face of the AEW Women's Championship or champion. Britt Baker. Beautiful gowns, lovely gowns, beautiful gear. That match on Dynamite was awful. That was an awful match I have seen of her. That was awful. Like, straight up. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. And I'm saying this out of love. I'm not saying it out to hate. I'm not saying that to be a bitch. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying this out of love. That was awful.
Oh, Mom, you said that in front of me.
I'm sorry. That was awful. We have Toni Storm. Huh? You say something, Graham?
No, I was muted.
Oh. We have Toni Storm as the AEW Women's Champion, and we have Chris Statlander as the TBS Women's Champion. Great champions. And you can tell that their energy is flowing through the matches that we have seen from the women's division of AEW so far. AEW women's division has looked the best that they have looked in ever. Ever. This is the best that I have seen them ever. But when you have the face of the AEW women's division wrestling how she does, it affects the AEW women's division. So now your performance on Wednesday, you know what I've seen on the timeline? Because the women business been booming on the timeline. Everybody been supporting, everybody been on one accord for once. And then you go out there and you did what you wasn't supposed to do. And then it's back to, I thought they was progressing. And you know what? I cannot fault them for saying that, because you are the face of this division. If they expect you to be on your best shit, it doesn't even matter who is the champion. You know, that's like saying at the time, if Trish Stratus looked a mess, it affects the whole locker room. So you want to make sure, and plus you're a woman. And now it's not even a woman, even in the men. If the faces of the company is not what's up, it affects the entire locker room. So being that AEW is all about fighting more than the promos, yes, your promos don't always be on point. Yes. So is CM Punk, so is others. But if you go in that ring and you sticking it up like you doing, it makes the whole division looks like, I thought y'all said that they was progressing. So if you ain't on your game, it affects the locker room. And as unfair as it is, that's just how it is. If Stone Cold and The Rock wasn't on that game, most of them are not on that game. The meat, the bread and the butter of whatever face and whatever company is in, if they are not on that, if Roman Reigns is not on his game, it affects the entire brand. So if you, Britt Baker, the face of the AEW Women's Champion, the gatekeeper of the AEW Women's division, if you are out there wrestling how you did on Wednesday, what does that say about the face of the AEW Women's division? What does that say? Why is our champions wrestling better than our face? Our face is supposed to lead by example. The only thing you're leading on is how to do a promo, but all of these girls that you're trying to coach is out wrestling you. How you going to try to coach Sky Blue if she out wrestles you? How you going to try to tell somebody how to adjust what and they already know how to out wrestle you? So either you step up and work on it or give that mantle to somebody else. If you're not going to be the face of the division like you're supposed to be in-ring wise, give that mantle to somebody else. Because what I saw Wednesday, I seen it on Ruby Soho's face when you did it the second time. Like, her face looked like she was over it. Like, hurry up and end this match before she pissed me off. You not rolling on time. You not doing the bumps on time. You miscommunicating. Your gear is nice. Yeah, that's nice. And then shout out to, even though y'all don't like her, but I'm going to say shout out to Saraya for trying, because Saraya was reading the room and she tried to distract the best way that she could. She read that. Saraya read that because Saraya's been there before. She's been there before. So she read that. She read it right on time. When this started to happen and she's starting to hear the crowd's reaction, the crowd reacted to your hiccups. They reacted to them. They saw it. They reacted to it. And as soon as that happened, what did Saraya do? Step in like a veteran. And as annoying or as sufferable as it is, but she did what she was supposed to do as a vet. She read that. She read what was going on and she just, come on, Tony, let's be annoying. She did what she was supposed to do to try to distract what we just seen in the ring. But it didn't distract me because if I see something like that and then I keep saying it, then I'm be like, okay. So Britt Baker, I'm saying it out of love. I'm pretty sure most of us are too. You are the face of the AEW Women's Division. You have to get it together in the ring. Get in the booth. If you have too much responsibilities on your task, it's okay to let one of them go. But you have to get better in the ring. Or we're going to have the Big Swole was right all along. I'm going to keep my comments to myself. But, yeah, so I mean, she's going to always be on TV because the merch is selling. She draws the numbers, yes. But we're on the verge of the AEW Women's Division is progressing. Different people has been Willow, Chris Statlander, Toni Storm, Ruby Soho, like even Anna Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like they have been stepping up. The women have been stepping up to try to lead on to a better direction for AEW. Because, you know, I was tired of people picking on the women's division up there at AEW, but it doesn't help if our face is out there doing, you know, sticking it up. And we know shit happened from the time to time, but it's just like you're regressing. You're not progressing in the ring. You're regressing. You're getting too comfortable. These ladies is fighting and you getting too comfortable. You're regressing. Okay? So, be a face. Get in the booth. You get, like Devin just said, you getting left behind. Yes, her character work has been amazing. But in ring wise, it's not connecting. It's not, you know, that's enough, Lacey. It's not doing
I think they were actually talking about Julia Hart. My bad. I missed that when they were saying okay. Julia Hart's putting in work and her character work has been amazing. So I apologize.
I was talking about Britt Baker. I feel like her character work is amazing. But yes, so Britt, if you hear it, just get in the booth. I'm not saying, you know, you need to leave this and this and this. What I'm saying, I'm giving what any real person want on their ear to be like, hey, you kind of fucking up a little bit. I don't know what you need to do, but you are fucking up. You cannot be our face if you're fucking up like this. Or, you know, you need to maybe pass it down to somebody else, take a little break. If you need to take a break, take a break. So, yeah. So we need our face of the division to get it together so, we can keep the momentum going. We can't afford no hiccups right now because it's been 3 years of hiccups. It's been 3 years of it. They're finally finding their footing for the AEW women's division. The footing is finally being planted, okay? So we don't want to lose it. Don't want to lose that momentum, okay? Rim, you had something to say earlier?
I just for me, I feel like I don't know if it is because there's like so many tournaments going on, or maybe it is the transition, like you were speaking to earlier, to Keeks, like how they're trying to, get everything set up for this summer and All In and then All Out a week after. But I feel like the emphasis of the women's tournament for this Owen has suffered. I feel like last year there was a lot more spotlight on it, and this year maybe it is. Say it again.
The injuries.
The injuries. Okay, so maybe it's that, or maybe it's also like the fact that, or maybe it's the fact that like it's kind of tied into this whole Outcast thing, and this Outcast story hasn't really been, because you got Willow, you got Sky Blue, you got Britt, you got Ruby, and they're all kind of tangled up in this story together. And I don't know. I feel like the tournament has suffered because it's kind of like it's just this story, and this story has been so convoluted. And Britt's out, and then Tony's out, and then Jamie's out, and it's like I don't know. I feel like that kind of affected the tournament. I feel like they could have done a little bit more to put like a little bit more spotlight and emphasis on the women's tournament.
I mean,
the women's tournament is
they did do that, but it's hard to do that if Britt Baker's out 1 week, and then you had Willow was out, and then one of them was out. I believe it was Sky Blue the first time. She couldn't do it that week. She they was not clear, so they can only do what they can too. And Jamie Hayter being injured messed up what they was trying to do too. So you have to think of that as well. Yeah. So they only doing what they can. Because we know that this is preparing for Sky Blue. We know that Sky Blue is going to win this. This is for Sky Blue. Sky Blue is going to win the Owen Hart's tournament, and then we know that either CM Punk or Ricky Stark's going to win. Like, this is building them. So we know after, like, when they point out, like, when they put the people in the place, you can kind of see where it's going.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it kind of does feel like
Sky Blue versus Willow.
Maybe. And then lastly, like, the Britt coming out with the title here reminded me that her and Adam Cole won the tournament last year, but like we haven't seen Adam Cole's title. So I'm wondering, like, do the winners of last year's tournament come and present these titles to the new winners? Because why has she been carrying this around for the whole year?
But that
like, she ain't been carrying it around. She just brought it back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
but that also ties into what they probably going to plant with her and Jamie Hayter. She doesn't know how to move without the belt. Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to get some clarity because I was like, that kind of confused me because I'm like, Adam Cole running around with MJF, but he ain't got out his little pink title.
Yeah, like this. What he just said on CM Punk, and like it's designed for CM Punk. Like we knew that off rip. And then the women's division, when I seen it, I'm like, they either gonna give it to Willow or they're gonna give it to Sky Blue. It's either or. But I'm thinking they leaning more to Sky Blue on this one.
Okay.
So, but yes, it now the women's Owens tournament was a bit of lackluster, but the injuries didn't help at all. And the people not being cleared on time, it didn't really help. You had two of them that was scheduled for Dynamite, had to reschedule, and then you had one scheduled for had to reschedule. So
you're right. You're right. You know what? My bad. Because I forgot that at the beginning of the tournament, you know, it was like the match with Ruby and Britt had to be rescheduled, and then of course Willow and Athena. So like it's been a lot going on. So,
it's a lot. It's a lot of wrestling going on. But I feel like they'll make it up by All In. I hope they're gonna all make it up by All In. So that's what I want to say about Britt Baker. I do not have a women business of the week because I want to focus more on Britt Baker. I just want to let her know we do love you and we do appreciate you in the AEW Women's division, but you have to step up as the face in ring. Promos, we ain't talking about all that. We talking about in ring wise. You need to step up a little bit more in ring, okay? Or just give it to somebody else, or just take a little break. But we don't need that right now because we're heading on to something, okay? So we're going to get into, like I was saying, All In is coming up. They did announce today, Tony Khan announced that All In sold 70K so far, $9 million in US dollars for All In. And All In is next month. So we're getting closer to it. We're in a transitional period for AEW to get ready for All In. So that means stuff is ending and stuff is beginning, but it's happening at the same time. So it looks a bit chaotic right now, but it's transitioning. They're putting things, they're planting seeds, and also throwing out some old dead plants. So when you have two things going on at the same time, one is ending, one is closing at the same time, it's going to look a bit chaotic, especially when some of them are in-ring storytelling and not the actual type of storytelling that you're used to. So that's what transitioning is. It's just like humans, you know, we sometimes over some stuff, but then also lingering on to some stuff. That's how transitional is. Transitioning is not a pretty thing. It's going to be ugly, but All In is going to deliver. They got to get it set up. So keep that in mind that AEW is transitioning and they're playing with some things right now to see if it works too. So just that's how I'm starting to learn. That's how Tony Khan gets his ideas. Like he has to play with some things. Like it's just like when you get a new toy, you got to play with it a little bit before you throw it and get a new. Like he's just messing around with it. If I do this, maybe that can tie it to this. But if I do this, this is getting over. This is not. This is working. This is not. This is like two things is happening at the same time. So if it looks chaotic right now, it's because it's all gonna come together. So we gotta get ready for All In. So just remember, All In is next, and they got to get the ball rolling because this is a big show, and he has a lot to prove with All In. This is gonna prove if he can do it with a big event like this. This is a tester for Tony Khan. The pressure is on. But he is very confident. He said it's going to be a big show. It's going to be an amazing show. They already confirmed that New Japan is also in it. They also haven't added anything else to it yet. They haven't told us. So who knows? So let the seeds plant. Okay, just get the ball rolling. It's chaotic right now, but it's transitioning. So things are ending and things are picking up. That's why we have this tag team eliminator. They just think they looking at some stuff. They looking at some stuff. This is, these tournaments that's going on. This is how you look at stuff. That's how you pay attention to see how the fans are reacting to who and things like that. They playing with it. Let them play with it so they can get the ball rolling, creativity, so they can get it rolling so that way All In can be successful. So that's what's going on. We're in a transition. So just think of it. If it don't make sense, it will make sense later. Okay? Jericho, he already dismissed Jazz. He did it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Things is picking up. Things are picking up. Things are picking up. So let it happen. Let it flow. Just let it happen. Blood and Guts is next week. Blood and Guts will probably be the starting point. You know what I'm saying? It will probably start everything. Because they got to get their faces together. If the faces are taken care of or how they move, and then everything else will flow accordingly. So let the transitionings happen. It's happening. Be patient. It's working. All they got to deliver. So that is it. Graham, did you keep up with the tallies of who did the live chat pick? Who's the better card? He got some pick. He kept up with the tallies.
Dynamite wins this week.
And Dynamiters, the Dynamiters, we took the victory. The elite.
Yeah, throw up that E.
Yeah, like I said, the downfall collision this week, of course, everybody was looking forward to Willow and Athena's match. That was probably going to be the match also with the tag team match, but they did have a great tag team match on the collision card. So, but shout out to Dynamite. It was the better card. Make sure y'all tune in to this week of Dynamite. We have some great cards coming up. My GOAT is facing Commander. He's facing a luchador. So let's see. You know what I'm saying? Put your hair in the ponytail, Chris Jericho, like you used to do with WCW when you face luchadors. Put your hair in a ponytail. So yeah, make sure y'all tune into Dynamite. We also got some collision. They're gonna announce some more collision card on Dynamite like they usually do. But yeah, shout out to Dynamite. They take the win this week. We'll see who take the win next week. Any shout outs?
Battle of the Belts is this weekend too. So Saturday after Collision, the finals of the Owen tournament, they have Battle of the Belts 7.
Yes.
And that's going to be Luchasaurus and Shawn Spears. I think that's going to be the main event for the TNT title.
I didn't ask for that, but okay. Yeah. Fuck it, we ball. I didn't ask for it, but okay. Fuck it, we ball, I guess. Shout out to Christian, though, my TNT champion.
Turn up.
Shout out to the peepers out there. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. Make sure you follow Public Enemies. Make sure you like and subscribe to them. They're live Wednesday nights. Make sure y'all tune in. I'm back next Monday. Also, I am, shout out to all of y'all that still, y'all still watch and stuff like that. To the people that don't even watch AEW, you still tune in. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all buy all the merches. Make sure you buy my merches. Make sure you buy Public Enemies merches. I have the merch stores on For Your Wear. I got things coming up, so be on the lookout for that. If you're in the Texas area, especially Houston, Russell Rave do have an event on the 19th. The Spectacular. We have a good lineup going on. They still getting talent. They still announcing talent. If you're in the Houston area, make sure you follow Russell Rave. It's going to be a good time. I won't be there because I'll be out of town. I'll be in Mexico. But make sure y'all tune in and purchase your tickets. Or if you are open to sponsorship, DM me and I'll run it by. But make sure you tune in on Wednesday live after Dynamite to Public Enemies, the platform, the label. They are back and stuff like that. They back on their bullshit. Happy G-Day. Happy birthday. Watching this on my video. Oh, well, happy birthday, King Quiz. Happy birthday to you. I got to do it like Marilyn Monroe. But she say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. At JFK birthday party. You got to say it like that. But happy birthday. Thank you for tuning in on your birthday. I appreciate it. Make sure you follow on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, also on Threads. We're on Threads too. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. Make sure y'all tune in to AEW this week. And also, like I said, transition. Remember, transition. If it don't make sense, just remember Keeks said, well, she did say transition. Just say that, okay? Just think of that. So, transitional period for AEW. Congrats to them for getting 70K so far. It was a few people said they was only going to do 40. It was a few that said they was going to do 30. Eric Bischoff gave them 35. They had 70.
He said 65.
Oh, he said 65, yeah.
He said
Shout
65.
Out to Tony Khan making his haters eat their words. Mm-hmm. Shout out to that. That's the best revenge. Just make them eat their words. You don't even have to say nothing. Just show it. And that's what he's doing, so.
Tony said, look, give me a few more TikToks. I'm finna be running this bitch longer than you was, Eric. So I don't even know what's up.
It is. Okay. Vince Russo said something the other day about they're flopping or something just for him. Oh, look, they told us that we was the number one cable show this week. This Rosie couldn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same three people. It's the same three people. And he just ignoring them. Just thank you so much, y'all. Thank you. I so thank you.
A petty king. What Drake say? Drake say, "Look, I am petty as fuck. I have no remorse in my heart.
None." What's Tony Hannah? Libra? Yeah, they petty. So. Yeah, but make sure y'all tune in. Thank y'all for listening and hit my getaway music.
You got it. Let's go.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man. They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans.